Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel, The Voice Bharat. Today again we are here with the post-match and pre-match analysis. The post-match analysis of the match between FC Goa and FC East Bengal, and the pre-match analysis of the match between Hyderabad FC and Bengaluru FC. So let's start with the post-match analysis. So I am speechless. East Bengal, a 100-year-old club of India, he sort of went with this lineup first. Tomislav Marcel and Franjo Parsa were the two centre backs. Raju Gaikwad was the right back and Hira Mondal was the left back. Holding midfielders were Amit Darvisevic and Saurav Das, and the two wingers were Vikas Jadhav and Naram Mahesh Singh. Amarjit Singh luckily was the centre forward. I don't know what type of coach is Mr. Diaz. He is playing a defensive midfielder to a striker, and along with Antonio Perosevic. In last two matches, we saw that playing Parsa and Tomislav Marcela together, the defense doesn't click well. Playing Tomislav Marcela and Adil Khan, the defense plays just like anything. Still, the coach will play Franjo Parsa and Tomislav Marcela together, and will not play Chima and Perosevic together, that which creates a threat in the attacking third. That if both Chima and Perosevic are there in the attacking third, there is a tendency of the defenders of the opponent team to commit errors, and from there they can capitalize and score the goals. It was really a comedy of errors in the last day's match. First of all, with nothing to say with Alberto Nogueira's first goal, it was a blind try from the distance. Luckily, it went inside. It was no one had to do anything. Neither Shubham Sen nor the defenders. It was a blank shot and it went inside the post. Then let us come to the first goal of FC East Bengal, that is from the free kick. Amit Darvisevic was the one who took the free kick. Edubedia did jump as much as possible and save the ball, which hit Edubedia's face, which came back to Perosevic, and Perosevic, with a nice outstep or outswinger, put the ball into the net. There was nothing Dhiraj could do because his position was not to do anything. He was behind the defenders and he could not see the ball. A lovely goal by Perosevic, and such a loving thing to see from him. And then it was a pacey match in the first half. It was an end-to-end game in the first half. Again, from somewhere, sort of thus fouled the Satan Fernandez inside the penalty box, and they got a penalty. And Ortiz converted the penalty from there. Very lovely, very better. One thing I must say that Raju Gaikwad is not a wing back or the side back. Raju Gaikwad is a centre back. Raju Gaikwad has become a centre back, a player of 31, 32 years of age who has many experiences of playing as centre back should play centre because he is very slow to be a wing back or to be a centre side back. I don't know why is not Akashdeep Singh called up since Ankit Mukherjee is very much injured, or why Daniel Gomes and Jonal Lorenko are sitting on the bench and Raju Gaikwad is playing as a side back. I don't know. I don't know anything. Then Dariusevic and Saurabh played pretty well in the last match. Because Zairu was flopped from the last four matches, but still because Zairu got the 11 ahead of Thamkosi and Hawkip. Why I don't know. It's I'm fed up to see the coaches. This coach like Manolo Diaz, who has a great experience of playing. I don't know how he selects this kind of lineup. I don't know. Then we saw the second goal for SC East Bengal. A lovely floated ball from Amit Darvisevic's free kick. No one was able to connect the header, not even FC Goa players, not the East Bengal players, and it straight went inside the goal. A lovely goal to watch from Amit Darvisevic. Then on the verge of ending in the first half, it was again, I guess, either Noguera or it was from a corner. Devendra Murgaokar's header, which fell on the left thigh of Perasevic and it went inside the goal. No one had to do any. No one had to do something of that inside. This is how the first half ended as 2-3. In the second half, two changes were of why I don't know. In every match, Chima will start from the first or the second half. Two changes will be made, like Tomislav Marcella will or Franjo Barca will move up or will come up, and Chima will come in onto the field. And again from there, I think Amarjit or Saurav Das or some of them will come up, and Adil Khan will be on the field. I don't know why is coach not able to play Adil Khan and this Chima from the first. I don't know. Every time, two of the crucial changes are wasted from the five. Then how can you change the players from time to time? I don't know. How the what the coach thinks, I don't know. This is an expressionless coach. When you score a goal, he has not no expression. When you concede a goal, he has no expression. He smiles sitting on the sidelines. Nothing is done. No change of tactics. No motivating the players. I don't know what type of coach is this. I think Robbie Fowler was better than this one, my Mr. Diaz. Chima came and there was high pressing on the upfront. From there, an error was committed as miss pass was given to Perasevic and he capitalized the chances scoring a goal by moving from the Dhiraj, Ivan Gonzalez and everyone scoring a goal. Then in the 62nd or 63rd minute again, what to do? East Bengal got a chance from another error from the FC Goa defense, and Pirosevic was selfish himself to not pass the ball to either Naurem or Amit Darvisevic and shoot him himself. That was a tight angle. I don't know, it was a very selfish game from him. Even Chima tried to shoot that one, but it went just over the bar. Nothing to do for Chima, but Pirosevic on the first position only could pass the ball to Amir Darvisevic so that he can score because Amir and Navarem were just empty. No one was marking them. And as a result, as the goal kick happened from Hira Mondol, I think it was most probably Navarem Namba who passed the ball to Alberto Noguera who was standing empty. Raju Gaikwad was not able to track back. A side back's work is to track back the other players who is not in the ball playing wing. Ajubai was just not able to track back at that time, and Noguera was empty. Like Adil Khan was marking Ortiz, and Pranjo Parse was the one who was covering Hira Mondol or Nong Nambanare. So he just passed the ball to Noguera, who was supposed to be marked by Raju Gaikwad at that time. He was empty, and he came and scored an empty goal. What to do, I don't know. This was the one. There was a comedy of errors from East Bengal and FC Goa. And first time in the history of any league, East Bengal are on the last spot or the last spot. I don't know what to do and how can they come up from this. Let us see what FC Goa had fielded their squad in a 4-2-3-1 formation. The left back was Xavier Gama, Ivan Darling and Ivan Gonzalez were the centre backs, and right back was Muhammad Ali, goalkeeper was Dhiraj Singh. The two holding midfielders were Edu Bedi and Glenn Martins. Alberto Noguera and Jorge Ortiz Mendoza and Satan Fernandez were three attacking midfielders, and Devendra Murgaonkar was the one playing up front. And they played a pretty well game. And whenever they created small triangles and played passes. And such love, it was a lovely game, lovely to watch the game of FC Goa players. They really tried and they won the match. A winning effect was seen in all the players of the FC Goa team. And in SC East Bengal, every players are walking. They came to field or something like that. I don't know. They came to walk over or they came to waste their time. This time, some 7:30 to 9:30 will waste. Will not do anything. I think that was the mentality of the East Bengal players. I'm just fed up with these East Bengal team. Etike Mohun Bagan team did get goals or lose two of their matches badly. Okay, it can be granted that a team which has scored just for two seasons consecutively and very played well, this East Bengal team is now playing consecutively bad in the last two seasons of ISL. I don't know how. It's just what to tell you. Just it can't be taken now. Now there has to be done. Either the management and the SC Cement management and the SC Bengal, you both make a golden handshake or sign the term sheet. This problem outside the field is the one which destroys the game inside the field. There was such a lovely chance for the SC Bengal team management to create a good team in this year's season because many of the top players were out of contract and they could offer many players like Rohim Ali, Deepak Tangri, Naurem Nongdomba, many good players they could have offered, but they took the players who were all available after releasing. I don't know when this will end and when this losing streak will end for a system, when they will get the first win. I think next match against Kerala Blasters they may get a win. No one knows. Let's see. And if this kind of blunders in the first 11 are taken, then no one will help them to get a win. They will end the league without winning a match. I know. Let's come. I don't know if I talk more about the match, I will. What to tell you? I will lose my temper and tell something. Sorry for being so rude. But let's come to the previous analysis of Hyderabad FC and Bangalore FC. So let's start with the Hyderabad FC predicted lineup. Kattimani on goal, vice captain of the team. The four defenders are Sana Singh and Juanan Gonzalez, the two central defenders, and Akash Mishra and Ashish Rai as the two side backs. The two holding midfielders, the destroying one is Hitesh Sharma, and the ball playing midfielder is Joe Victor. Joel Chianese will again start in the attacking midfield as Edu Garcia is injured, and Aniket Jadhav and Yasin Mohammed on the two wings, and Bartholomew Ogbich as the lone striker. Hyderabad FC has played three games, lost one against Chennai FC, won one against Mumbai City FC, and drew one against Jamshedpur FC. This Hyderabad FC has the potential of defeating Bangalore FC this time and this game because the Bangalore FC are not in the best of the forms because they're going through a transition phase and like I think today Hyderabad FC if they play very well and as they played in last season they can defeat Bangalore FC easily with 2 to 3 goals to come. I think they can do this. Bangalore FC are a very not a very strong team to go through, but they can. I think that Bangalore FC players are losing confidence by losing the games. The main problem is that the defensive problem and the connect conversation between the communication between the goalkeeper and the central defenders. Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, I think, is not quite able to lead the defense of Pratik Chaudhary, Alan Costa, and let's see the predicted lineup of Bangalore FC. They will again, I think, go with the 4-3-3 formation. With left back as Ashik Purunian, the central backs as Alan Costa and Pratik Chaudhary, and right back as Naurem Roshan Singh. The three midfielders are Bruno Ramirez Silva, the destroying midfielders, and Jaish Rane and Suresh Manjam as the ball playing midfielders. The left wing will go to Sunil Chhetri, centre forward. I think Prince Ribara will start because as of my news, he has not injured himself so badly. Clinton Silva will start on the right wing. If not Prince Ribara, then Clinton Silva will start on the center half, and the right side will go to I think Budanta Singh or Edmund Lalvindiga may come. I don't know. This can be done. Niman Basafa, the one should come in the midfield in place of a foreigner. I think I don't know, but it's understandable that Bangalore FC did play very well from this first season in the I League, then coming in ISL, they play very well. But they are now going into the through the transition phase, and it's understandable that again they will start playing good in the next 2 to 3 seasons to come. With the coach Marco Pezzoli is now under the contract of 2024, and I think they will bounce back under this coach only, and they will try to prove that yes, Bangalore FC is not finished. So let's hope for the best, and let's see today what happens in the match. I'm just fed up with SCS Bengal and getting a one Bangla teams. I think if this goes on, the two teams will be eradicated very soon. So let's go. Let's see today what happens in today's match. Thank you for watching the video. Please do subscribe our channel, The Voice Bharat, and hit the like button if you like our video and comment on our flaws. And if you like our video and what things we should improve while making the video, and hit the bell icon so that we can so that whenever we post a video, you get the notification of it. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.